one of the mics that I want.
Good day, gents, and welcome to another episode of Father's Fire. My name's Jody Sedrick, and we are going live today. I'm super excited. I met Luis Guevara from Texas. He's originally from Venezuela, and we met at the Southern Detailers Conference and just really had a great conversation and got talking about being a dad. And as you guys who are with us live can see, he's got his two handsome young boys with him.
Yeah, that's right. I got my two boys with me. They're my life pretty much. I'm missing my daughter. She's right now with her mother. That's another thing about parenting. She's marrying his new, not boyfriend. They getting to know each other, but they're having dinner in their house and in their house. And I don't have her, but yeah, we're excited to be here with you.
Yeah, so you know what? I love that perspective because parenting, for those that are blessed with a really good partner, it is a tag team event. And I am humbled and in awe of single mothers and fathers. I mean, I don't know how they do it.
I don't know how they do it, man. I really don't know how they do it. I'll tell you that right now.
So obviously you have very playful boys. What's their names again?
So this is Luigi. That's my middle son. He's 11 years old, and this is Gabriel. He's 6. He's a guy.
Hi, Gabriel. Gabriel, I absolutely love your hair, and obviously you are a huge baseball fan, so that's good, man.
Yeah, he loves that. He loves baseball.
What position do you play?
Gabriel, what do you play?
I play first and second.
I used to play second base, so you and I get along really well. So that's awesome. And your older boy, what's he into?
I play baseball.
And you play baseball too. It's all in the family.
It's my boy.
Yeah, there's all the family. It's funny that I really loved baseball when I was a kid, and I used to play with older guys. I was the smaller one from the whole group, and baseball was the thing that we were playing. And I thought that my kids were never going to play baseball, but they love it. We love Astros. They're from Houston, so we're crazy fans from baseball, and we love to go to the games.
Oh yeah, it's so fun because when I was a kid, I was super into baseball. I played every league I could get my hands on, and then we moved a lot in high school, so I didn't get to play in high school, and I even played into being married on an adult league, and it was always so fun. And one of the things that I remember most about baseball is two things. One, my dad always played baseball with me. I mean, anytime I came home and I said, "Hey, Dad, you want to throw the ball with me?" He would be out there and he would throw for hours with me. I don't know how he did it. I'm sure he got bored.
Yeah.
So what, your boys are into baseball, obviously. Are you coaching them, or what? Are you just being their biggest fan?
We play a little. It's hard for me to coach them because they don't listen to me. but we do what we like the most, and when we play, we play. I mean, we throw, we catch, they bat. I mean, I do everything that I was doing with my father. He would just pitching me, and I was batting. The good stuff. But I love to have time with them when I can. They're very good kids. I'm very blessed to have them as God was very good to me with those kids. They like to play a lot, and we play the same sport. And I mean, after we finish here, my son, my little one, told me, "Can you pitch me, and I can catch now?" So yeah, I love to play with them. And yeah, I coach a little bit. I coach on their team once or two, and for my T-ball kid, when I'm a T-ball, I pitch for the team. So I'm very involved with that. My wife and I were very involved into their activities like that.
Yeah. So I got a question for Luigi.
Yeah.
So can you honestly, your dad's sitting next to you. So how's your dad doing as a dad? Is he doing a good job or not so good?
Yeah, he's doing good.
What makes him so good?
I don't know. This is like, I just like him as a dad. I don't know. I like you. I like everything about you.
For real?
I think the only thing that I don't like is the.
When you get mad at us.
No, not about that. But yes, but no. I think like the. Sometimes you don't understand me as much as like I think it is. So like when like when I'm playing video games, you think it's like dumb, but to me it's fun. So yeah, that's the only thing I don't like.
Well, yeah, he has his point of view. I didn't grow up with video games, and I feel like he can be reading a book or maybe looking at instructional video on YouTube about learning things, but it's a new generation.
I'm just reading a book.
And sometimes it's hard to understand.
Yeah.
I don't get really mad at them. I just wanted them to take really advantage of all the tools that are out there. But most of the kids are into the video games, and I really support them because I buy a faster computer. So it's not that I'm really against into it. Is that right?
Yeah, you're not against it, but you don't like it. But I wish one day you would play with me. I don't know. I just want to teach you one day. Just play with me, and then
They're gonna be good like you.
No, when we grow up, I'm gonna buy like I don't know, probably not, but just like my imagination. I could buy I can make a man cave, and it's just have like 2 PCs in there, and a monitor for us to play if I teach you, and then one for Gabriel.
Well, you gotta work for that. So make it happen.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Me too.
I love his vision, right? Because I think that so many boys, it's like they want to play with their dad. And a lot of times we as dads, it's not something that we grew up with. Right?
Yes.
I grew up being outside, playing baseball, playing football. Dude, in the summer, as soon as I got done with my chores, I was gone all day playing football or baseball or soccer. I mean, dude, always outside, right? And I remember when my kids were like Luigi's age, they were all into the video games too. And I was really struggling with it. I'm like, dude, you guys are just wasting your time. You could be doing something else. And my really good friend said something to me that really impacted me. He said, you know what? Just because it's different than what we were doing as kids doesn't mean that it's wrong. And in fact, he goes, maybe the way that they're playing today is preparing them for things that we can't even see in the future. Right?
And that's correct. That's correct.
And straight up, Luigi, you're gonna laugh at this. So my kids, they love to play Fortnite. They love to play.
Fortnite.
Yeah, so we have the 3D thing too, right? And so the first time I played Fortnite, I'm sitting there playing with my kids, and I'm trying to figure out the controllers. And dude, my kids are going, Dad, you suck. But it was so much fun because at least I was trying, right? And so Luigi, would you like it if your dad would just try?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's try.
Like if you tried with me, I would like it more than you saying like, get off that.
What about if I don't like it?
If you don't like it, then I'm gonna, I don't know.
Quit playing?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna teach you, so you're gonna like it when you grow up. So. Like, I'm gonna teach you. I want to teach
when
you.
I grow up?
I actually do want to teach
you. Grow up,
you want to play with me today?
When I grow up.
I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. Do you want to play with me today?
Yeah, we can play for a little bit.
That's awesome. So I got a question for Gabriel. Gabriel just started to walk away, so I got to ask Gabriel. So Gabriel, what would you like your dad to do?
Just watch TV with me on YouTube.
Oh my God.
Right. So what do you like to watch on YouTube?
I just like to watch stuff.
Like what stuff, man?
JJ and Mikey and Unspeakable and I don't know.
And that's okay. I think the big thing is you would just like your dad to slow down and watch some YouTube with you, right?
Yeah.
So do both of you guys think dad works too much?
Yes. That's a good thing though. That's a good thing though.
It is. How is it a good thing, Luigi?
Because we need like someone to work in the family, or if he doesn't work, we're gonna be on the streets.
Yeah,
So
that's good. So do you ever get to work with him?
yeah.
And what do you think about that?
Next week, what I think about it, I think it's fun. But when I go over there to work with him, I don't really work. I just go upstairs and I just start playing video games in his office.
So you're not doing too good at washing cars then.
Well, he used to do very well. I mean, one of the lessons that I teach him, because before even we have to this new blessing, that's a new building that I have an office that I never get to be there. They used to come to my other location, one of my first locations, and I told him that the way where he can earn some money was just by doing the things that he hated the most. To be a boss, you have to learn how to do the basics things. So it's just the basics. And he's asked me, Daddy, when can I wash a car? And I say, no, you're not gonna wash a car. You're gonna pick up all the towels, you're gonna put it to wash, and you're gonna pick up the trash. And he say, why? I hate that. I just don't like it. Well, you gotta start from zero. And I know I don't know if he understood that, but back then he was maybe 8 years old, maybe 9 years old. And he was doing such a great job. Even then my employees was teaching him how much soap they have to put into the towels, so he would do a good job. And he was getting price out of it. I mean, he was not really getting money, but he was getting, things. In that time, I think he was just asking for Pokemon cards or even clothes. He's a fanatic of Jordan shoes, and he wants shoes. So we'll figure something out where I'm gonna give him a prize for it. So he
That's
understood
awesome.
that working also have a price. So
And I like that you taught them to do the ugly, right? Because I think a lot of times, we as dads miss the opportunity to teach our kids that sometimes work is not fun. Not everything's glamorous. Not everything's playing video games, right? And sometimes you have to do the things that are tedious. And understanding that is really critical lesson for your kids to learn at a young age. In part one, so that they can learn what it takes to get something done, but also to expose them to maybe something they don't want to do, which will inspire them to develop talents that will, enable them not to do that.
exactly. My kids know exactly what I do, and my son, the little one, Gabriel, is very good at wiping cards, and he just learned it just by seeing me. Um, this kid right here is a builder, um, and I love to explore their talents and their mentality. I wash cars for a living, and we do hand wash. And I think this little boy right here was maybe 8 years old, and he was into Legos, and he built a automatic car wash out of Legos, and it just blew my mind the way how he designed maybe his future car wash. I don't know. I mean, but they got the basic. I'm telling you, I got great kids. You know, um, my wife has been doing a great job by just teaching him also, the basics of life and do what's right.
So one of the things that I did before we got on the show was I looked at your wife's Facebook and I looked at your Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's amazing when you look at both sides of the story, and I can see that there really is a lot of love, a lot of dedication, a lot of commitment to each other. And I imagine that has been a really solid foundation for you as a couple as you have had your children. So what has been some of the challenges for you as a man, as you've moved from having this beautiful relationship with this queen of your heart to now having kids and raising them? What have been some of those challenges that you guys have had to work through as a couple?
Um, one of the biggest challenges in his heart is just that I have goals as a man and as an immigrant, coming from another country, and try to understand that I have to provide for my kids, that I have a compromise and the duty of providing for my family, and um, having those goals and having those dreams, and have limitations. It pushed me so hard to try to work and drive me to the the workaholic life that I carry. And that's something that my wife always just, putting a break on me, saying, "Look, you have a family, you got kids, they need you. Don't waste the time." And especially when I came here and I have my first girl, my daughter. I mean, me as my daughter, just my firstborn, and she's 16 now. I didn't enjoy my daughter for a long
Mm.
time. We were having crazy schedules, and my wife was I was working in the morning from 5 in the morning till 4 o'clock, and then she was working from 5 o'clock till 3 o'clock in the morning. We were working in the same company but different shifts, and we didn't spend that much time. It was a hard time right there, but you know um, I understand that it's not everything about work, but me committing to work and make things happen just dragging me to the position where I have to work so much to make things happen for my family. And of course, this puts me away from my kids. And she was just always like, "Please, just come home early. Just don't come." It was times where I was coming home at 10 o'clock at night, and I tell you, that was not really a really good thing. I was eating. I was so committed to work that I was forgetting about my family, and drinking a 12 pack of Coke even when they were half, with some noodle soup just to try to keep myself going. But my motivation was providing for my family and forgetting in that point that I have family waiting for me at home. And that was my one of my biggest challenges with me and my wife. Just she pushing me to stop, slow down, and take a time to spend with my kids and her, instead of just me working, 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 working. So I was like a hard hit guy on that point, and we spent about maybe 3 years, 5 years fighting for the same thing. And I said, "Hey, I wanna accomplish something, I wanna make it happen." But um, that was one of the biggest things at the beginning, where we're still having a family, like growing as a family with
Well,
kids.
and it's tough, especially when you're working double shifts, right? Working at a company, you're working opposite. So you're literally passing each other as you're going into different shifts. And then making that transition from working for a company and then becoming your own business owner, I'm sure that had a very stressful dynamic on it as well.
Yeah, well, I'm very. I have my work ethic is big. I learned that from my dad, which I'm really grateful and thankful for my dad. My dad taught me how to be. He was also a hardworking man. He was independent. He was working for a company, and then he got independent, and I learned how to. In the time, I just loved the way that he was a self-employed and he decided what to do in his time. Of course, I was coming from another country. When I came here, I came with nothing, and because I knew what kind of life was like, be independent and be entrepreneur. I started kind of moving my life into that perspective. But I was a great employee. I was working for a company, and I always went up on the companies that I was working, just because my work ethic. I was always committed to do the best for the owner, even when I was making the same kind of money. I guess based on
Yeah.
the principle. So
So one of the things that has been a huge blessing in my life is my wife's parents are first generation to the States from the Philippines, and my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, man, they were so dedicated, so hardworking. I mean, Judy's dad was a gardener, and literally he would leave at 5 a.m. and he would come home at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. some days, and then he would always go out and he would barbecue chicken or work in his garden. So he was consistently working, and I just loved his work ethic, and I had so much mad respect for him. He didn't make a lot of time for the kids, but his languages of love was, I've come to America and I'm going to work my butt off so that my children can have an amazing opportunity. And I know my wife is extremely grateful for the example that her dad and her mom were to her and to me. And I just have mad respect and love for them, for their dedication and determination to make it happen in the States.
Yeah, man, being immigrant is not easy. It is tough. You have a lot of things that it cross by your mind, and the culture is different, and understand that when you have kids, also your kids has also different culture. I mean, they go to school, and they're different, and we're different from everything is so different. But being immigrant is tough. But we enjoy to be as a family. We do a lot of things together. We chose to go to vacation and have some quality time because we want to show them that that quality time is really worth more than anything, more than any $1 million you can have. Those
Yeah.
memories are unbelievable. So we even have a budget just for those. I mean, my wife even have a budget for little traveling here in the United States. We go to the beach a lot. I mean, my wife loves the beach. Those are kids that love the water. They love to be in the water. So our position in Texas, we're very close to the beach, and we got Florida very close, 6 hours away. So we can also enjoy those beautiful beaches. So
Yeah, you guys need to come to Idaho. I'll take you wake surfing on my boat, and the kids will love that. So
hey, I would love to. I mean, we just gotta plan it, and we're ready to
look at
go.
Luigi, man. He's like, yeah, I want to do it, dude. I'd love to have you. No, it's fun.
I haven't done that.
Yeah, no, we can teach you. I promise you. I mean, it is so fun. I mean, that's one of the things. Judy and I are always just really dedicated to having family time. And we took the entire family down to Mexico earlier in the summer, and dude, we had such a good time.
I look at your pictures, your videos, and everything. That was incredible. I really couldn't understand why there were so many people together, and then I realized that your family was unbelievable all together, and I love that. I mean, that's a beautiful thing to do. I mean, I really, when you feel jealousy, but jealousy in a good way, where you
Yeah.
say, man, I really want to try to do this. I see your wife dancing, even you got a routine going on. It is crazy. It is something that I really admire from you. We spent a little time together in Kentucky when we met, but then I start following you and see exactly, and I learn a lot about you. I mean, you have a very routine. You work out. You work out with your wife. My wife has been begging me for so long. She's been paying games. She's been paying personal instructors. She said, please, how much you want to make an hour if you want to go, and I'll pay you to come and work out with me. But I see your commitment, and I love that. I love that you have a routine, that you care about yourself. You work out. I see how you love your wife. I see how you love your kids, and sometimes my wife is not really fun about social media, and she's not really fun about posting. She's not really about posting so many things out there. She's very kind of private in one aspect, but I love to share good things. I hate negativity. I don't put anything negativity on my thing. My life is not perfect. Our life is not perfect. I mean, after I put my iPad down, we're gonna start screaming each other. Luigi, stop making a noise, and Gabriel, stop crying, or me and my dog Bruno, get out of the couch, and because we're a normal family. I mean, we don't want to pretend that we are who we are really not are. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and thank you for show your family love into it, because it motivates people like me to say, hey, it's something that I'm missing. I wanna get my way into his side. I really need to start working out. I really need to start.
It's funny because you bring that up, because the first 20 plus years of our marriage, I never worked out with Judy. Never. I mean, and you got to understand my perspective, because if you go back and look at some of the 80s workout videos and you watch the men bouncing around in their little short shorts, I'm like, no, that's not me, right? I wanted to play baseball or basketball. And it wasn't until we adopted our kids that there was so much new challenges in our life with the children because they came when they were older, 8 and 9. They had some mental and emotional baggage that they were working through. And Judy and I were just trying to figure it out, right? And
Yeah.
so we started every night just going for walks. And then, as you know, we would talk, we would laugh, we would cry together. And then we're like, hey, you know what? Why don't we do a half marathon together? So we started training for a half marathon, and we did the Idaho Potato Marathon here. And that led to us doing the next marathon, and it became an outlet for us to do together. It became time for us to talk and visit, but also to get our mind and our bodies in a good place. And now I can't imagine not doing it.
Yeah, when my wife tells me that that the feeling of, and I've been working out, and I guess the first 2 weeks they're kind of tough, just because your body gets exhausted, you're not used to it, your body hurts
Yeah.
you, and then you have to go to work, and then you get down and you do this and you do that, and it's not really a good feeling. So I end in queen all the time. I end in basically queen just because of pain, and I feel like I'm getting tired instead of just gaining energy. So I guess I have to stay longer, trying and trying and trying to be able to get it, because I know my wife is happy doing it and working out. It's not about just look good, it's just about health, it's just
About how
about
you feel. Yeah,
yeah.
no, it's good. So looking back, because I know Luigi wants to play Fortnite with you.
Yeah, we'll try to play a little bit Fortnite later.
Yeah, so looking back, right? I mean, you got that handsome young man, Luigi, you got Gabriel, you got your daughter. What are some key things that you think are critical for a dad to do in their family?
Man, put the time to spend and listen to them. I mean, I don't even do that as much as I should be doing it. Like I say, I don't know why it's got to come in a stranger, for example, like you in our life, so I can find out from your questions that he wished to play Fortnite with me. Listen to kids is really critical. And I'm not very good listener, I guess. I don't know. It really depends. I'm giving you I'm so busy, trying to make something happen. That is the truth. This is for my family. I want to break the generational chain of being poor in my family by trying to finish something. My grandfather started a business and started doing great things, and it was a great thing that it would be maybe paid it off very well. He has a big farm with avocados in my country. And 1 year, and he had it for about 5 6 years, I don't know for how long. I remember I was maybe 7 8 years old, and 1 year those avocados plants never give any fruits, and he ended giving up. And the crazy thing that he sold it, or he traded it for something. And as soon as the next season hit it, this guy that he sold this avocados farm, it was completely blooming, and he had to start over again, putting my grandmother, my uncles, and my father into the spot where, of course, they got to continue working and be slaves of pretty much life. Um, then my dad also make a huge empire. His situation was a little different. He did very well by himself. He was a great father, a great provider. But the government took everything away from him. The economy in our country just put us in a position where he had to quit. And of course, there was another issues in it, and other addictions, and things that he was carrying from the past that, of course, took him to that direction. I don't want my kids to go through any of that thing. I want my kids to be different. I want my generation, because I'm the first generation. I'm the guy who really brought all my family from my country after everything. I mean, I didn't brought it, I didn't pay for them, but I was the one who was receiving them here so they could be safe and have a better life. They all do very well. I'm very proud of my Venezuelan community here. Most of them they already own homes, with the less than 5 years of being in the United States, and that's a big compliment. They have a great jobs. They do provide for their families, and they are making a life in here. And I mean, this is the best country in the world. I'm sorry, I'm come from another country. I love Venezuela. I love my country. I hate that I really have to leave, but here we have freedom. I feel protected, even when it's a lot of crime, like you can call crime. People don't even know what is poverty here. When you go to a country like mine, you really see people behind the dumpsters where people throw the food for the restaurant, try to grab and eat from that food because they don't have nothing to eat. So this is the country of the opportunities, and I'm very grateful that I'm landing here. I mean, I'm very blessed.
Yeah, well, and you are a blessing to your community and your family. And I just want to thank you for your passion, your devotion, your commitment, seeing, I love the immigrant story, because it's my wife's story, it's
Yeah.
your story, and I love that. So I have one last question.
Yes.
Um, and it's, how do you keep the things that are important to you in your culture from Venezuela, my wife from the Philippines? No, how do you keep those aspects that are really important to you and incorporate those in a new country with your kids who are being exposed to so many different opportunities than you had as a kid? So how do you blend those cultures to make a new version of your family while holding on to those things that are precious?
Being together as a family is one of the huge things, and celebrate our holidays from our country, which is a blessing here because we get to celebrate twice. And that is just amazing. We celebrate the 24th of December, December 24th, which is Christmas Eve in our country, as Christmas Day here. I mean, here people celebrate the 25th, which is the 25th, and we celebrate 24th and 25th. We celebrate, New Year's, and we celebrate now Thanksgiving Day, which is amazing. Another day that we are really thankful to be together, and we as a family we gather. I mean, when we say we gather, we're about maybe 50 Venezuelan people. They're very my family itself that we get together. It's another Venezuelan people. They have their own activities, but me, we get in my house. My house was the house of the meetings before anybody would buy a house, and they knew that the 24th, the Christmas, the Thanksgivings, the birthdays, all those celebrations they were hosting in my house. And that's a good thing. And as far as culture, I mean, we are just giving them what we know. We took the best from our country. I mean, my kids, I was having like a little challenge when we start pronouncing those words in Spanish. That
Rude.
American kid, yeah, rude is one of them. So
I saw
can't
Luigi giving you a hard time for how you said rude.
yeah, he. So he gave me a hard time, and we start this challenge. Okay, so it's another word that I really cannot pronounce, and I want to say it's not really completely different from what it is, and they know which one it is. He already opposite side. What is the one the Russians say? No, don't say it. Anyway, so we started that challenging, and I said, look, I'm gonna start giving you the same feeling. One of the things that I have is that I'm very open, and I don't really care. I don't really care if I messed up when I talk. I don't have, and it's a grace that I keep on me. A lot of people don't really practice, and they don't really stop themselves because they feel like their pronunciation is not appropriate. Well, on me, I don't really care. I'm gonna try to get you to understand me, and I just take advantage of that. So those kids, are always really. I mean, they're helping me to say things better. But then I start teaching them the Spanish word that they're hard. So I try to explain that we cannot really roll the same way how they roll. But like Ruth, I cannot really say it
Periódico.
properly. Um, and it's another word, but we're having this good time, and he has some of the Venezuelan culture, the Hispanic culture, and I was just going online looking for those words, but he has a very good pronunciation because he's been growing with this in his.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
also teaching him the importance of speaking, Spanish. Tú hablas muy bien español. I mean, you speak
Sí,
very well
gracias.
Spanish.
Es un
And,
placer.
yes, and this is
Rato.
something, and explaining that the importance of speaking two languages, have two double opportunity to reach different teams, and they speak well. I'm really good. We stopped speaking Spanish in our house because Luigi was having issues. He was stuttering,
Mm,
and we understood that it was not a issue he carried. It was that he was mixing Spanish and English, and when it was becoming to for him to talk, he was just getting stuck, and he couldn't
yeah.
really continue going. So we went to school with him, and they give us the help. They said, "Look, we know you guys don't speak very well English, but you have to only speak English for a little bit till he crossed that little bridge." And now that he
Yeah.
crossed it, now we started back again with Spanish.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing, the power of language, right? And your kids are blessed because they're going to have Spanish and English, that they can, move in between two cultures. They can move in between so many different nations and peoples. And it's such a blessing. And I know when we adopted our kids, I taught myself Haitian Creole in preparation. And, I wasn't perfect, but I had enough that I could bridge the gap and communicate and open the doors of our heart to each other. And it was really funny because I'll never forget this. They came on February 1st, and in May that year, just 3 months later, I was talking to my son in Creole, and he's like, "Why are you speaking to me in Creole? I only speak English now." And from that day forward, he's always spoke English.
And because we have so many people here that speak Spanish, they don't have no choice. Their
Yeah.
grandparents speak Spanish, and they don't really speak any kind of English. And their grandparents come and I'm gonna take Luigi because I gotta go. I have a doctor appointment, and I need to translate for me. So they are forced just to do it, and they have to do it because their parents needed it, their grandparents needed it. So grateful for that too, man.
Yeah, and that is such a great opportunity for them to have their grandparents rely upon them. And it
Yes.
really does reinforce the ability to move between both languages and communicate on, and to me, it's also not only about communicating in different languages, but also especially when your children are going to doctor appointments or things like that, they're learning how to communicate on a professional level, right? Just not only one-on-one, good, muy amable, conversation with the family, but also the conversation with other people outside. And it's just so much power. And it's, I wish people really understood the power of understanding two languages and two cultures, because it does open the world to you, but it also opens perspective. Because when I talk to you in Spanish, or I talk to our friends and Carlos, or Alejandro in Costa Rica, or Puerto Rico, or it's just I get such a different perspective on the industry that we're in, the experiences that you guys are having. And it's such a blessing to me to have that opportunity to be able to move in between those two cultures that ultimately creates one culture where we can all love and grow together.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Man, I'm really blessed also that I've been going to all these what do you call it, conventions. I met Carlos through Facebook, and we connect automatically. And I'm Venezuelan, and they're Puerto Rican, and also they have different culture, but their flavor, the way how they warm you, they hug you, they like you, they treat you as a family, they give you another perspective about different culture too. And then you have the Caucasian culture, And you know, it just a mix of feelings and emotions that when you click with someone, it's just unbreakable.
Yeah. No, and it's such a blessing, It's like, I'm so grateful that my family is such a blended family. My wife, her family's from the Philippines. We adopted two kids from Haiti, and my kids are very proud to be half Filipino.
Yeah,
And it just creates such a beautiful dynamic, and it enables you to see the world from the lens of a prism, right? It's like when you look at a prism, a stream of light goes through it, and on the other side you get this rainbow of colors, and those rainbows of colors, when combined, are unified and make one beautiful experience. And even when they're different colors, it's such a beautiful experience. And to me, that's what it's about. And you having your children here in the States, they get the experience of having two different cultures, and that is going to arm them in a way that no other experience really could, and enable them to move and provide opportunities for them. It's like I think about the opportunities that I have, just meeting you, and meeting, everybody from Puerto Rico, and just, I mean, it's just been an amazing experience. And to be able to go down with my kids to Mexico and be able to speak Spanish, and the kids are trying. I mean, my daughter, she picks up the language really quick, and it's just
wow.
it's just such a blessing, right? And my wife, she's like, "Yeah, I got to learn Spanish." So me and my wife have been doing Spanish. She's got little cue cards, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't like to have to rely on you. I want to learn myself."
Yeah, a lot of words or words about, in Spanish. They're also from people from Filipino. They have the same words.
Yeah,
They're
very
very
similar.
close, very
Yep.
similar. I mean, and I get to communicate sometimes with some of the Filipinos customers that I have around here, and we have a great time. Their accent in
Yeah.
English is really kind of tough. So I say, you speak to me in your language, and I'm gonna speak to you in Spanish, so we can be in the middle instead.
Yeah, I love that, being in the middle. That's awesome. And
Yeah,
and
yeah,
to me, sometimes that's what a family's about, right? Learning how to
hmm,
be in the middle, right? Because I love the way your kids, opened up, said, I would love my dad to do this, right? And it was surprising to you. And I think a lot of times we as dads miss opportunities because we don't ask them, what would you like to do today? No, if
yeah,
you could do anything, what would you do? And what I found is that a lot of times it's not something elaborate. It's not like, let's go to Disney World. It's like, hey, let's play Fortnite.
yeah,
Let's go float the river. Can we go get an ice cream? Usually it's just something really simple where that is centered around spending time with you, doing something that they love.
yeah, yeah. Hey, I guess on myself, just thinking about the Fortnite, I just come home tired, and I didn't know that spending time playing Fortnite, it was gonna make my sons be happy. But I'm gonna try to play Fortnite and Call of Duty a little bit.
Well, you'll
Maybe
have
I
to
can
let me
forget
know how
about
it
work.
goes. You'll have to let me know if they tease you, like, saying rude.
Oh man, we're fine. I mean, this is the last. We've been having a great time about learning and pronouncing words, and
That's
learning.
good.
I mean, it has been a family thing now, and my wife can be in the kitchen and she say, "Try to say ferrocarril," and they can say it. I mean, I cannot really find another word that he cannot really pronounce, and he's also looking for words from me that I cannot really pronounce, so we can make a video out of it.
Yeah, I love that ferrocarril. That's uh,
R, yeah. Oh, what?
yeah, that thing
I
of a
miss you.
Ferris wheel.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know, but okay, I can see you right
Yeah,
now. Yes.
I couldn't get it in English. I had it in my head in Spanish,
Yeah, you
and I was
can.
like, "What? I know exactly what it is. It's a Ferris wheel."
Yeah, yeah.
So that's awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking your time visiting with me. It was super fun having your boys on as well. And guys, if you don't know Luis, please go out and connect with him. He runs a great little company, Extreme Detail Hand Wash. out of Texas. As he said, he's a huge Houston Astros fan. So if you're in Texas, you got to love him for that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody else would love me for being an Astros fan.
Oh, Carlos is saying it's railway. I thought it was a Ferris wheel. So I
No, no, no,
see, I
no,
was wrong.
railway. Yeah.
So I
Thank you,
was
Carlos.
wrong.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos, for correcting me. This güero tratando de hablar español. It's like it is what it is. So no,
You want to try to say I work in Spanish?
Ferrocarril?
Anaranjado.
Say what?
Anaranjado. Orange.
Anaranjado?
You close. Good job.
Anaranjado. Yeah, that one's hard to say.
Yes. And the newspaper, too, is almost impossible for them. Which is, yeah, you got it good. You've been practicing a lot, too.
And you know what? It's like you. I'm not afraid to try, right? Because it's like I know I don't say everything exactly right, but the intent of my heart, I hope you can feel it, because I want to be part of a community. I want to be part of people's lives. And the only way you can do that is by opening the door with communication. So thank you guys for your patience with my Spanish.
Dude, I think I'm telling you, Jody, you did a great job. I see you communicating with my Puerto Rican family, and they were very grateful to know that somebody could really understand what was on their heart. When you see my Puerto Rican friends, teaching you the passion of polishing cars, and just they want to tell you with this fire that they have inside of them, and try to explain it as somebody that they cannot really communicate them well. You feel like they get stuck, but they still say, you know what, I'm going to show you with my smile that I love what I do. And that's a good thing. Yes.
Yeah. And I love it. And the thing that has been very obvious to me with all of the men that I've met from Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, Venezuela, is all of them are very focused on being a good dad. I mean, every single one, they have such a passion about their family, and they're dedicated to busting their butt and doing what it takes to be successful, to open those opportunities for their kids. But also, like you, being humble enough to go, you know what? I don't speak perfect, but I'm willing to learn with you, son. Me and mom are willing to, put it all in English or put it all in Spanish so that we can grow together. And I think that's really, one of the key takeaways that I've taken from our conversation tonight is that we as a family can grow together if we as dads will take the lead and open the opportunity for those chances to learn.
Yeah, yeah. Jody, I'm going to ask you a question. How you having this huge family? Because I want to take example. I want to take you as example for my life. You're a great father. You have your kids. You took the even bigger step by following your heart and taking some kids from another country that you knew that were not perfect, but they were kids and human beings. How did you take the time to be a father like you are, be a husband like you are? I see the love that you show everywhere you go with your wife, and also have your own company, and then take the time to write a book.
You know what? It's
I'm turning this into you because I want to give you credit. You're taking up your time to share the good word of good parents or whatever you do into your company, blessings and all that. I'm just want to give you credit for that, man. And I want to thank you so much for share for that. And I'm going to buy your book.
Well, I appreciate it. And it's like, when I look back, I think a lot of times we as dads get stuck in, I got to work, I got to provide, I got to do everything to ensure their success, when the most important thing you need to do is spend time with your family. So when my kids were little, I woke up every day with that. Well, for a long time I didn't. One day I was at my job at 6 a.m. I'm like, why am I at work this early? I mean, yeah, I can be working, but I'm missing an opportunity with my kids. So the very next day I committed that every morning I would wake my kids up and I would make them breakfast. And
Wow.
every morning I would go down, I would sing them these silly songs that I made up. And then I would wake them up, I'd bring them up, I'd help them get ready I'd give them breakfast. And I'd always have nice music going, nice spiritual music or nice calming, just to kind of start the day. And then, at night, Judy and I but when we put our kids to bed, we always read the scriptures together and we prayed together. And then I would tuck the kids in bed. And so every night I would go in and I would tuck the kids in bed and I would tell them, I would make up stories or I would read stories to them. And so every morning I had time with my kids and every night I had time with my kids. And that set a precedent of just being, committed to being a small part of their life. It wasn't a whole lot, but it was consistently every day, being there in the morning and being there in the night. And then Judy and I, every Monday night was family night. So we would have dinner together and then we would play games. We would watch a movie. We would do skits. I mean, we would do art. Monday night was the kids' night. And then every Friday night was Jody and Judy night. So every week, Judy and I have a date night, right? Because I think it's really important that you as a couple make time for each other. And it's really difficult when you're building a business and having family. It's so easy to get consumed with building your business and taking care of your kids that it's easy to lose yourself as a couple. And so Judy and I have just made it a commitment that every week we have a date night. And the kids expect it. They know it, right? And so that has just been the pattern of our life. And, when you really boil it down to one thing, it comes down to spending time with your kids and spending time with your wife, because the rest of it will take care of itself if you dedicate that time to your kids and your wife.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you for asking the question. I love being a dad. I'm the oldest of 8 kids. I had a great dad. We were very poor. My dad was in the Navy, but my dad always made time for us. Monday nights was family night, and we would go water skiing on Saturdays as a family. And my mom and dad always went on a date. And so I had that pattern, and I recognize that there's a lot of men that didn't have the pattern, but that doesn't mean that you can't put the pattern in your life. A lot of men said, well, I didn't have a good dad. I didn't have a good father. Well, who is the dad or father that you would have liked to have had?
Awesome.
And
Yes.
emulate that person, become that person. Because when it comes down to it, the only things your kids really need, they need a roof over your head and food on the table. But the most important thing they need is you.
Amen to that.
They need you. So, well, thank you for the question and thank you for giving me the time. This is the longest episode I've ever had. It's been such a great conversation. I appreciate
I'm
you.
sorry. I mean,
no, I
knew
love it.
I mean, it was unique. I mean, like I say, we didn't prep it. We didn't prep anything. We were just being spontaneous. I was kind of worried that my kids was going to start screaming. When you asked my kids the question, I was a little bit worried because kids can be very honest.
Yes.
But it makes me feel very well that I didn't. I mean, there were very unique answers for them, and it's good to know. So I'm gonna make that happen for them. And thank you for asking the question. Yes.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for being my guest. And those of you that have tuned in or who are listening, thank you guys so much for tuning in every week. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And we will check you same time, same bad channel just next week.
Awesome. Thank you for the invite. You have a great day. God bless your family. Thank you for the opportunity. You made me feel special.
Well, you are special, man. You're a great dad.
I try to be a good dad. Yes, I try.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. You have a great evening, buddy.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. All right. Bye-bye.